When you get your official relocation packet for NAS Oceana, it gives you some zip codes and a list of approved neighborhoods. What it does not give you is the truth about what living near NAS Oceana actually looks like, how loud an F-18 really is from your own backyard, what the drive to the gate feels like at 0645 on a Tuesday, and whether your BAH can actually carry a home in the neighborhood everyone keeps telling you to look at. This is what this video is. I'm a Navy wife and a mom who lived in Castleton for 22 years. I built a home there, raised my kids there, and spent my career helping military families make this exact decision, and I'm giving you the housing report they will not. Here's exactly what this video is going to cover. You are going to get the real commute numbers to NAS Oceana and Dam Neck, including the specific route, the gate traffic reality, and why predictability matters more than distance when you have a muster time to make. You're going to understand the jet noise situation with actual decibel context, not just a reassurance that you will get used to it. You will also get the full price breakdown by home, type, how it stacks against your BAH at different ranks, and what the HOA means for your daily life. And you will know the schools, the shopping, and the lifestyle details that tell you whether Castleton is actually the right fit for your family, or whether your time is better off spent looking somewhere else. I'm going to give you the complete picture because a family making a housing decision from across the country deserves the same information I would give my own kids. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Megan Luker. I'm a third-generation real estate agent with over 35 years of experience, and I'm a proud Navy wife and mom. I have navigated this crazy life through the deployments, the packouts, the PCS cycles, and everything in between. And I've spent my career helping military families buy, sell, and invest in real estate across Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and the Greater Hampton Roads area. Let's get into it. On a map, Castleton looks like a straightforward choice for NAS Oceana, and the map is not wrong. But it's not telling you the whole story either. The route from Castleton to the back gate is direct and easy to learn. You take Castleton Drive to London Bridge Road, turn on to Dam Neck Road, and it runs you straight to the back gate in 5 to 10 minutes on a normal morning. The front gate is right around 10 minutes. Dam Neck Naval Annex is then 10 to 15 minutes in the same corridor. For those two installations, this location is generally hard to beat. Here is what the map does not show you. If you need to be on base for a 0700 muster, you're joining a large number of other people funneling towards the same gates at the same time. That 5 to 10 minute drive can stretch to 20 or even 25 minutes during peak gate hours. It's not the distance that creates the issue. It is the timing. What I want you to understand is that the Castleton commute is highly predictable, and that matters more than most people realize, unlike commuting from Chesapeake or Norfolk, where one bad accident on the bridge tunnel can turn a 30-minute drive into 90 minutes. The Castleton commute runs almost entirely on surface streets. You can budget for it, you can plan around it, and for a family trying to build a reliable daily routine, that predictability is worth more than shaving 2 miles off the drive. That is not a hypothetical. I made a whole video on why miles do not equal minutes in Hampton Roads, and it is the single most common thing military families get wrong before they get here. So check it out, it's right here. Naval Station Norfolk is a different calculation entirely. You should plan on 40 to 50 minutes, depending on the time of day and whether the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel is cooperating. If NOB is your primary installation, that commute is worth pressure testing before you commit to this neighborhood. NAS Oceana is the East Coast master jet base for the F-18s. They fly every day, and you will hear them. And I want to be completely clear about that. Anyone who tells you otherwise is not giving you the full picture. The real question is not whether you will hear jets in Castleton. The real question is how loud they are and whether your family can live with that reality. I covered the sound of freedom and how the AICUZ zones work across the whole city back in January. What I'm giving you now is narrower and more useful. What those zones mean on one specific street in one specific neighborhood from someone who slept under them for 22 years. Virginia Beach uses AICUZ maps, Air Installation Compatibility Use Zone maps, to designate noise levels across the city. And a good portion of Castleton falls within the 65 to 75 decibel noise contour. To put that in context, 65 decibels is roughly the volume of a loud conversation, and 75 decibels is closer to a vacuum cleaner running in the same room. When jets are actively flying overhead, you will pause an outdoor conversation, and you may even find yourself turning up the television. Inside the house with windows closed, the structure typically reduces that noise by 15 to 25 decibels, so the indoor experience is significantly more manageable. What I can tell you from 22 years of living there is that the noise is not constant and it's not random. Flight operations happen in patterns, and most residents will tell you that after a few months, it simply becomes part of the background. Actually, one of my favorite memories in Castleton is watching the NAS Oceana air show from our own neighborhood. The Blue Angels would perform, and we would pull out our lawn chairs either in our backyard or out in front and watch the entire show from our own front yard. I even saw families sitting on the front hill of Castleton watching the air show from there. For a military family, that is not a nuisance. That is one of the best perks of the address. That said, if you work from home on calls all day, or if noise sensitivity is a real factor for anyone in your household, I want you to weigh that honestly before you commit. Virginia law requires written disclosure if a property sits in a designated noise zone, and you will sign that document before you close on any home. My strong advice is to spend time in the neighborhood at different times of the day so your family can make that decision from firsthand experience, not from a description. Beyond the commute and the jet noise, what does it actually feel like to live in Castleton day to day? Castleton was designed as a large loop, with the main road running in a circle around the entire subdivision, and each interior street forms its own smaller cul-de-sac off the main loop. The condos sit at the front of the neighborhood as you enter, and they have their own small gated pool. As you move deeper into the neighborhood, you transition into the single-family homes in a layout that creates a natural sense of community. Everyone in each pocket knows their neighbors, and the design makes it easy to get to know the people around you. And I also love that it was really safe for my children to run around in the streets because there was no through traffic. The entrance to the neighborhood has generous green space that gives Castleton a welcoming feel from the moment you pull in. The streets throughout have mature trees that have grown over the last 25 years. And here's something that is generally rare in Virginia Beach. There are actual sidewalks throughout the neighborhood that makes it walkable and family friendly in a way that many newer communities are not. On any given afternoon, you will see kids riding bikes, families walking dogs, and neighbors actually stopping to talk. Most homes have fenced backyards with enough room for a grill, a play set, and room for the dog to run around. We actually had a very large pool and many years of family fun and pool parties. So you will see a lot of pools in Castleton too. The concentration of military families in Castleton is one of its most underrated qualities. These are people who understand deployments, who understand the chaos, and what it means to manage a household when your spouse is not home. That community forms quickly and it runs deep. Neighbors introduce themselves in the first week. People look out for each other's kids. And there's a real support system that builds without anyone having to ask for it. For a family arriving in a city where they do not know a single person, that matters more than most people expect before they experience it. Let me give you the remaining pieces: schools, amenities, and the price breakdown. Castleton is served by Strawbridge Elementary, which sits tucked off the main roads in a way that gives it a genuine community feel. It's one of those elementary schools that becomes a real anchor for young families in the neighborhood. And the parents who have kids there consistently talk about it as one of the highlights of living in Castleton. From Strawbridge, students move to Corporate Landing Middle School and then to Landstown High School, which is the home to the Governor's STEM and Technology Academy, a meaningful draw for families whose students who lean towards science and technology. Always verify your specific address at vbcps.net before making any decisions, because school zone boundaries do shift. On the amenities, the location in Central Virginia Beach is one of Castleton's strongest assets. Landstown Commons and Red Mill Commons are less than 10 minutes away, which gives you Harris Teeter, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, and a full range of restaurants all within a short drive. There's also a brand new Publix, less than 10 minutes from the neighborhood, which has been a real quality of life addition for families in this part of Virginia Beach. Lynnhaven Mall is a short drive further if you need a full shopping day, and the Atlantic Oceanfront and Sandbridge are both under 20 minutes. On the numbers, Castleton has 2 price tiers, and which one fits your budget matters. The condos at the front of the neighborhood have been selling in the high 360s to the mid 390s, with a median right around $381,000 on the condo side. For an E5 or an E6 using a VA loan with no down payment and no PMI, this is the price range where your BAH and your mortgage payment can genuinely align. If you have not run those numbers yet, I broke down what BAH actually buys across Virginia Beach by rank in an earlier video. Start there. Then come back to this one. The detached single-family homes start right around $500,000 and run up into the $800,000 with a median close to $626,000. That is well above most enlisted BAH levels, and you would be covering a real gap out of the base pay. It's manageable for senior enlisted and mid-career officers who plan for it, but a number of you need to know going into it rather than discovering it after the fact. The HOA runs around $50 a month for single-family homes and a bit more for the condos, which have their own gated pool and additional services. It keeps the neighborhood consistent, it protects property values, and for most military families who want a clean and predictable place to land, the structure is a net positive. Castleton is right for your family if your primary assignment is NAS Oceana or Dam Neck. You want a predictable commute on surface streets, a family-focused military community where the support system builds itself, and schools with a STEM academy that gives your kids real options. If you can accept jet noise and an active HOA as part of the deal, this neighborhood delivers on nearly every front. It is not the right fit if noise sensitivity is a genuine deal breaker for your household, if HOA rules feel restrictive rather than reassuring, or if your budget truly cannot flex past your BAH on the detached side. If Castleton is not the match, I will tell you that directly and show you where your family should be looking instead. Because finding the right neighborhood is the whole point of this channel. Next week, I'm stepping back from neighborhoods entirely and walking you through the whole PCS process to Virginia Beach. Every step from the day your orders drop to the day you get your keys. If you are early in this and the neighborhood question is still a few decisions away, that is the video you need first. And the week after that, I'm putting Castleton side by side with the other 2 neighborhoods Navy families keep landing in near Oceana and Dam Neck, so you can see the full comparison. Make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss either one of those. If you want to talk through whether Castleton is the right fit for your rank, your BAH, and your timeline, book a Zoom call with me using the link below. Real numbers, real neighborhoods, no pressure. And if this video helped you, subscribe. I post every week covering Virginia Beach neighborhoods, PCS decisions, and everything military families need to know before they get here. Welcome home. This is Real Life Virginia Beach.